Low budget commanders in the game have been a great way for players to maximize the value that they have for the gold heads that they have. And two of the best ones we've ever seen is William at 5511, 5551, and Saladin at 5551. Okay, and with that being said, we do have our new guy in the game, Sun Tzu. And here's what I found. He is the best commander right now today in 2026, the best commander that we can use low budget. So stick around while I go through it, because as we work on Sun Tzu, a lot of y'all can get max value for low investment. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I do videos all the time, and I'm gonna have a card in the top because I did a full breakdown on Sun Tzu and Ivar, who are the new infantry commanders that just came out. You can check that video out. I went through all of it and how they're gonna portray, how they're gonna be paired, how they're going to assimilate to the game, and what's gonna happen. And if you enjoy these types of videos, throw a thumbs up on here, give them a like. If you are not subscribed, consider doing so. Doesn't cost you anything, and if you want to get alerts, you can hit that bell when I do content like this. Well, we've got Sun Tzu, right? And one of the first things I identified was the fact that he's doing a couple of things with his skills that really lend to, okay, we need to look at this for a minimum investment situation. All right, we've had these commanders before. Saladin and William are two of the biggest ones. Now, I did a video that went into some of the new commanders with Achilles and Gang, and who else? We had Hector in there. Where's he at? We have commanders that you can run 5551 or 5515. You have all these different kind of commanders that you can do. And so with that being said, we want to go through here and look at this. As we saw Hector, we did the same thing with him. We want to go through here and look at this. And the first thing I found with Sun Tzu was that he is going to be an insanely good low budget commander. Insanely good. Okay, and let me kind of go through it here. Here's our boy. He's infantry, versatility, and smite. He's a smite damage commander, right? And he has got a massive rage engine with his skill set. All right, I don't have to review all of his skills, but I don't have to go too in depth, but we can definitely look at this. Okay, he's got a low rage reduction already, low rage requirement of 900. That's great. Well, just like the Sun Tzu epic version we've had for years, this guy is also going to be a big rage engine. He's a single target nuker. All right. And he does true damage from the smite damage that he does. And he does this with a military sage skill. All right. So he gets military sage for 5 seconds after his active skill. Anytime you're doing smite damage, he takes a percentage of that smite damage and he does true damage. Now, the actual damage factor of true damage it doesn't matter. It's not needed. It's not a big deal. Okay. Because true damage is just like the worst type of damage as far as translating into red numbers when you hit. Okay. We know this. We knew it from CY. We knew it from Shajar. That's what true damage is. And judging by the video that we've seen, it's the same thing. It's just not going to be a huge damage factor, but that does not matter because of the effects you get from doing true damage to AoE targets, because you hit 2 targets as you see there. Okay, that's great. Active skill, level 5, awesome. War for Peace, his second skill. This might be one of the most cracked, the best stat stick skills in the game. 75% of stats, 25% march speed, 20% health, 30% attack. That is great. You go get that, because at level 1, you get 10% of everything. Not great. At level 5, you get it all. And it's wild, especially with the march speed and 20% health for infantry. Just great. Okay, we come to his third skill, and this is where things get a little interesting, okay? Because what happens with his third skill is that he is going to do a 20% more defense, right? And if you have the military sage in effect, you also have 10% more smite damage you're doing. And you do here's a 50% chance to deal an instant proc of smite damage. Okay. Well, the damage factor is 400, which is okay. It's not anywhere near like Alex levels or Philip levels or William the Conqueror levels of instant damage, but it's something. Okay. But here's the key to this. All right, you're just wanting to do more smite damage. You don't care the amount of damage because you want the true damage to fire off, and it's going to fire off anytime you do smite damage when you have the military sage. Well, if you fire off another piece of smite damage, even if it's an instant proc, you're going to fire off more true damage and you're going to hit more targets. Here's why that's important. On his fourth skill, the myriad of maneuvers, okay, you're just going to take straight 10% less damage. Now, here's the key. You gain 20% extra rage every target you hit with the AoE of your true damage. Well, you do 2 target troop damage every time you do smite during the military sage off of the active skill. Okay, so it's going to fire off anytime you do smite. Well, the third skill, you do smite, it's going to fire off. His active skill, he's doing smite, it's going to fire off. The secondary commander's doing smite, it's going to fire off. It is a rage engine because you're just getting 20 rage every time you're hitting troops with that 2 target AoE that the true damage does. Okay, and so you also have 100% chance to deal 2% more damage for the next 5 seconds whenever gaining rage from the myriad maneuver effect. So when you do that, when you do true damage AoE, you're also building up stacks of all damage to 10%, and you're running that probability up to 100. So all of this is really, really good. Really good. Now, here's the key to Sun Tzu. His expertise is hot garbage, y'all. As far as an enhancement, it is garbage. It's the exact same thing as his active skill, except you're increasing the damage that true damage is doing. Instead of 20% of the smite damage, you're increasing it to 30%. Like, it's already so low, and true damage is just such a low component of damage factor that this doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because you're not looking for the benefit of damage of true damage, of damage factor of true damage. You're looking for the benefit of laying down true damage to get the myriad maneuvers going and to get the rage going. And so that's why I instantly looked at this and I said, okay, look at that third skill, surprise strike. Okay, at level 1, you're getting half the benefit of the infantry defense. You get 10% defense. Cool. You're going to lose out on 10% defense by not having it at level 5. All right, level 1, no problem. I'll take 10% defense. Level 1 for the smite damage bonus, 5% instead of 10%. 10% is not that big either way. So 5% getting half that value, no problem. I'll take that. And then the smite damage factor. Okay, 400 smite damage is not like crazy good. It's just the fact that it's doing any smite damage that's good. Any smite damage that it does is going to trigger, it's going to trigger the true damage. So I don't care if it's 400 or 200, it doesn't matter to me. So on that surprise strike skill, when you look down there and see smite damage factor of 400, if it's level 5, or 200 if it's level 1, I'll just take the 200. And then I started thinking about this and looking at the expertise that it really doesn't do anything. And I'm like, oh my God, Sun Tzu is gonna be the best low budget commander we have today. Easy, no questions asked. Easy. 5515 Sun Tzu. Save your skill resets, because for those of you who are thinking about maxing him, you know, I haven't labeled him a must max commander. I don't know if he's quite there yet. You know, single target commanders, he's a great rage engine. He reminds me of Huo, but is he a must max commander? I would rather have BQ than this guy. I'd rather have Luce than this guy. I'd rather have Arthur and Achilles and Chin. Those are your 5 must max commanders. And the similarities with all of them is they do massive AoE, massive damage. Where Sun Tzu is more of a rage engine, so he's a complement of AoE and all that stuff that he does, whoever's going to be behind him. And so from that standpoint, you look at him and you're like, okay, if you don't have the heads to go max this guy, you can get him 5515 and you literally have like 90 to 95% of his kit ready to go. Or I should say 90 to 95% effectiveness of his kit ready to go. Like, I love it. I love the 5515 Sun Tzu. It is the best low budget commander we have in the game right now. We got some decent ones with some of the new calves, but This guy, easy. Everybody, if you're worried about heads, just get him 5515. Spin the wheel for him, get him 5515. Don't put a lot of gold heads into this guy. You're not going to need it. And so that is what we found, and that's what we wanted to portray to everybody. And if you pair this guy, here's the other thing. You want that 4 skill maxed, because anytime you do the true damage AoE, you're going to get the extra rage, right? Well, check this out, guys. And this is why I love the BQ pairing with Sun Tzu. BQ is going to do smite damage based off of his malice stacks. And you've been in those murder balls that you fight where these malice stacks fire off every other second. Just no problem. Every other second they're firing off. Well, if these malice stacks are firing off in the middle, right smack dab in the middle of Sun Tzu's military sage effect, every time those malice stacks fire off in those 5 seconds, you're firing off more AoE. It's like a rapid fire of AoE true damage. Now, the actual damage factor is nothing. It doesn't matter. You're just wanting to gain rage. He is going to be such a rage engine. It's going to be so crazy. And so malice stacks trigger the true damage AoE. The AoE true damage triggers the rage, and that's the ticket to it. So a 5515 Sun Tzu is gonna be phenomenal. Fantastic. I encourage everybody to at least start there, because you can get great value out of this guy, 5515. And in the situation we're in right now, to where the game is really making it hard on free to play and low spenders, we're going to have the refund event coming up, and it looks like it's going to cost a whole bunch of gems. We've got the Kraken buffs that we saw, all these different things that free to play and low spenders are looking at saying, golly, I wish they'd do something for me. Well, you don't realize it, but Sun Tzu is the commander for you. He's the commander that is going to be free to play, low spenders, without a lot of gold heads. He is your best friend, because he's going to be so good at 5515. So save the skill resets. Get ready to spin the wheel on this guy, and you don't have to go crazy. Save yourself about 360 gold heads by just getting him 5515, and don't worry about this expertise. It doesn't even mean anything. That's a signal from the game, basically telling us, like, we're not going to give you hardly anything when it comes to the benefit of the expertise. So now what do? Okay, which skill can we drop? Boom, there it is. The 3rd skill, you get the smite damage. That's all you want. You don't care what the damage factor is. You can get infantry health at 10%. You can get smite damage bonus at 5%. That's half the benefit of level 5. I can just do 5515. So if you enjoyed this video, throw a thumbs up on here. Give it a like. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Love doing these types of videos. And with that, we will see you later, broskies.